Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Today I'm just going to show you a quick example of what your pre-lab notebook should look like. So you do want to start with a title. Then you can move on to some purposes, procedure, and data table. This is on page 3 of your lab manual. So this is so introductory laboratory techniques is the first experiment we're doing this quarter. So we can flip over. Yes, so this is an example I kind of whipped up. So you want to include the title here, your name, the name of your partner, the day the experiment is going to be done, and then information about your section and your course. You definitely want to do this though. This is important. If you make a mistake, just cross out the mistake one line and then initial it. Please and thank you. After you've done all your introduction information, you're going to do objectives and learning goals. For all the experiments, those are found right after the introduction to the experiment. So I just flipped the page and they're right there. There's 3 of them for this experiment, there's 3 sections. There's 12 different things you guys have to learn. And here's just some examples. So this is how I would put it. For the first one on the lab manual, it's using a balance. And you guys have to write a sentence like this saying, I will learn how to use an analytical balance. Not a big deal. There's also the conceptual. You do a sentence for each one in the laboratory section. The conceptual section is precision and accuracy. How are you going to experiment this? And in an experiment, you will perform an experiment and collect data to learn how to calculate accuracy and precision. Right? And then finally, data analysis is you want to calculate density using experimental properties, which is exactly what is happening here. Does that make sense? So you just keep filling these out, always use sentences, and you'll be good. The next part is going to be your procedures. Your procedures are going to be taken directly from your lab notebook, but please do not copy them. So we'll start with part 1, section A. Part 1, section A. So part 1 is measuring volumes. A is pipettes. And in step 1, we want to draw 400 milliliters of DI water into beaker. Let stand for 15 minutes to equilibrate. If you guys do not know what something is, I highly recommend making a note of that. Ask me, ask somebody else. DI water, or as the lab manual calls it, deionized water, is something that might be unfamiliar, and that's okay. Please ask me. I will not go over it here, but you can definitely ask me about it later. There's also some other stuff that you might not know. Let's say you don't know what a pipette is. Make a note of that. Right? You don't know what a burette is. Make a note of that. Then you just keep filling in the steps. There is a part B. If we go over here, so this is that. Part B here, just complete the exact same steps as you did for A, fill in the steps as you did for A. There's also a part C, where you have to measure using a beaker. There's a total of 17 steps. There's also a part 2, which is where you dry a hydrate, which starts here. And this one has no subsections. You do not have to include the cleanup. You'll find there. Another thing to mention, you can always include some pictures. Let's say you want to go above and beyond. Go online and look up what like a crucible is, what a Bunsen burner is, how to set this up, how to set up a pipette and bulb. And you can draw a picture. Those pictures are worth 1,000 words. Finally, your data section will include a data table. Now, I got lazy and didn't want to do this table, but this is found on page 8 of that same manual. I just copied it down here in a very simplistic manner. In this section, you'll also record observations during the experiment day. So that's going to be something cool. Once you've done that, you are done with your pre-lab. Everything else below this is going to be calculations. You will only be able to do calculations once you actually get numbers from the experiment. Does that make sense? So for now, that's all you have to worry about. And just to kind of illustrate this point, this is all found in your lab notebook. This is a paper that's only given to TAs, but I'll show you this. This is the stuff that we're looking out for. Please give me a title, give me some purpose, some procedure, some data, and you're going to give me some observations. You'll finally do calculations in your notebook. If you have any questions, you can ask me. And at the end, you're going to do results and conclusions, and those things will be given on LabFlow. Does that make sense? And with that, Please let me know if you have any other questions. I hope this was helpful. And yes, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye now.